I'm trying to do the perfect thing. How do you do the perfect thing? How you made the thing fly? How did you do that? Inside. That's like that's perfect. Now I hear.
All right, man. Hold on. I'm gonna lie. Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all your platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, you guys. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I am your homie HerbMan. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. All we do here is simply teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So teach you here about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, wellness. And this is a free information station. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear today. The only thing that you got to do to pay for anything is pay attention. And how you do that is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. Look, your homie been on fire for a few years now. And I know you might not know me, so let me reintroduce myself. My name is HerbMan. Okay, and there's been an HerbMan like me that's been existing in the community of humanity for thousands of years, right along with you. Okay, and we've always had this particular ability to talk to nature. And what we figured out in the modern time is how to articulate that to the public. And what we're articulating you to the public is that there is a particular design. There's a particular wave, a frequency, an energy that is taking you through life, and you don't know what that sound like. You don't know what that look like, but it goes with sound and color because it is a language of the gods in the language of nature, and it's numbers. So the most valid information that you have coming into this spiritual paradigm, this physical paradigm, coming out between your mama legs, being born here, whatever you want to call it, the biggest thing that you got to you that means something is not your blood type or your blood sample. It's not your hair sample. It's not your stool or your urine sample. It's not the live culture from your little ugly bump down now. It's non-invasive. It's non-intrusive. We ain't gonna poke you, prod you, or prick you for this information. It ain't your driver's license because man gave that to you. It ain't your social security number because man gave that to you. What this is, it ain't your credit card number. Man gave that to you. What this is a tag on you when you came into the matrix of life, and that's your birthday. And your birthday holds information. Way longer than your hair sample. Your hair sample does 90 days. Your blood test or your blood sample does 24 hours. This does a lifetime, you guys. Your birthday tells a lifetime of knowledge. That's how you know about Jesus Christ. Because the birthday holds a lifetime of knowledge. and you've been celebrating Christmas, that birthday, you got stories around it, celebratory rituals, everything around Christmas, everything around Valentine's, everything around this, everything around your birthday, because the birthday holds knowledge. So numbers speak language, and the main language that number speaks is transition. So from 0 to 9, we understand that this is a transition from nothing to something. 0 to 9. Very simple stuff that we're picking up as we march and travel through this paradigm. Okay? So what we're trying to do is elongate our forefathers' research. Okay? At the end of the dynasties of ancient Egypt, mummification became a big thing for you to understand. Before, there was no mummification, and after, there was no mummification. But during mummification, why did they mummify? See, mummification just wasn't the big, it wasn't like that's what they always have did. No. They didn't always mummify you. There was a period of time that there was no understanding of mummification when something died. And then there was a period of time where there was. And then there's a period of time where it ain't no more. Ain't nobody getting mummified no more. So what is this mummification period? It's body preservation 101. And what was happening during that time of ancient Egyptians' understanding was that mummification was a part of the afterlife journey. Not during while you were here. We ain't worried about you being healthy while you're here. But what we want to do is preserve the body while you're gone, so that when you leave, you're supposed to be able to come back to your body and be able to tell us how the afterlife journey went. And that's what resurrection is all about. That's what everlasting life is all about, to be able to go and then come back and tell. Well, they didn't do that right. The monks didn't get it right. The Taoism didn't get it right. Taoism did not get it right. Okay. Buddhism didn't get it right. Hindu didn't get it right. And because you starved your body to death, you fasted so long. Yes, you reached a spiritual enlightenment, but you couldn't come back to tell about it either, because you didn't have value on the lower self. When you start reading the ancient text and the sacred knowledge, you didn't see. I know my shit blanket right now because I just erased everything. But you didn't have sacred knowledge. Okay? So what you did was you said, well, the lower self equals evil. See? That's what you said. You said that the lower self, okay? And we're coming live from South Africa. You guys, we're live on TikTok and live on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for chiming in. If you guys got questions or concerns, please put them in the feed. We're going to holler at you today. All right? You said that the lower self was evil. You said that the lower self was wrong. You said that the lower self was negative. And therefore, you said that the lower self needs to, I can't say it on this right here, but y'all know what we're saying, right? So somebody sold you that the lower self in you is these things: evil, wrong, negative, and needs to perish. That's where they went wrong at. See, look, way before Copernicus told you about the sun being the center of the planet, you had Ptolemy telling you that Ptolemy telling you that the earth was the center. So when the earth was the center, that was a different time. When the Renaissance came in, the Renaissance age changed the time. They changed the calendar, they changed the time, and when they changed the time, they got everybody out of season. See? Now, they wasn't wrong. Copernicus was right about the sun being the center of the universe, and Ptolemy was wrong about the earth being the center of the universe. But at the same time, both of them and everybody was right in their time, in their moment. Ptolemy was telling you all about how knowledge has got them that far. So far, all we know is, and from what we know, Earth looked like it's the sun. That's all that was. That ain't got nothing to do with a motherfucker don't know what they talking about or doing none of that. That's just how far information gets you. So in Ptolemy age, information got them to figuring out Earth looked like it's the sun. And then when the Renaissance came, then guess what? Copernicus and his information, if it wasn't for goddamn Ptolemy, it wouldn't be no Copernicus. So Copernicus is feeding off for Ptolemy that came before him, like I'm feeding off Dr. Saban, like I'm feeding off George Washington Carver, like I'm feeding off Harriet Tubman, like I'm feeding off Emma Dupree. Like I'm feeding off Imhotep, like I'm feeding off Hippocrates. We feeding off each other because it's a spirit though. But at the end of the day, my point to you is that, see, you got all of this knowledge, and so what you did was you devalued the lower self. But guess what? Zero is the same value as everybody else in here. It holds a spot. And in holding that spot, this becomes 10 digits. And when this becomes 10 digits, it breaks down into a oneness. It breaks down into a oneness. Okay? Now, in this oneness is a recipe that in order to get oneness, you must be able to operate duality. And the duality is going to be polarity. Going somewhere with it now, okay? In order to get oneness, you must turn two opposites operating into oneness. I done said this 1,000 times. You got to keep Adam from divorcing Eve. You got to keep masculine from leaving feminine. You got to keep feminine from leaving masculine. You got to keep the woman from leaving the man. You got to keep the family together. You got to keep this thing to where both of y'all can stay in dominion together. Both of y'all got to control it together. See, the stipulation in order to get these $1 billion is that both of y'all got to run it together. See, the stipulation, and in order to be able to get to this supernatural qualities and abilities, is that both together. See, the stipulation for you to be able to get this gift is that both of you got to be able to run it together. See, now that sounds easier said than done, because you know a nigga don't want to listen to a female, and a female don't want to listen to no nigga, and a white woman don't want to listen to no white man don't want to listen to no white woman. Here you talking about? Because we've been socially engineered to say that somebody is supposed to take the lead on something, but see, in this thing right here, is that this is not of no value. The feminine or the masculine holds value. The zero holds value. You got more zeros in $1 million than you got one. So that means that all them zeros is carrying that value. So what's happening is that for the longest, the gurus, the monks, the gurus, the ancestors, They did what they did out of the information that they had. God bless their soul. They did what they did out of the information that they had. God bless their soul. But see, now we in a information age, and we're at that particular point where we must continue to keep studying and learning from those that came before us. So your lower self, you guys, is not a wrong. It's not a right. It's not a negative. It ain't nothing. It's a part of polarity. It's a part of polarity. So the charge that your lower self has, we need that charge. So it's a lot like the positive and the negative. on the battery. Okay? The positive and the negative on the battery. You must understand the efficacy of the polarity, or it's the electron and the neutron, the electron and the proton on an atom. Because that's really where this comes from. The polarity of atoms that came into the polarity of space, that came into a word that you know now as Polaris. That Polaris is also known as the North Star. Okay, the North Star, right? The North Star is also known as the navigation. Okay, the navigation star. Okay, the Polaris North Star is known as the navigation star. So if you're trying to find your healing, if you're trying to find your way out of confusion, if you're trying to find your way out of brokenness, if you're trying to find your way out of despair, if you're trying to find your way out of the situation that you're currently in, if they told you that you got cancer and there's no intellect to help you, meaning that they done all they can, but they got to get you back home to hospice, then that means that we can't pull from the physical body anymore. It's depleted. You done chemotherapy, immunotherapy, radiation. You done been eating all this food, ain't giving you no nutrition, drinking Ensures. That shit ain't gonna do nothing for you. You depleted from dialysis. You depleted from autoimmune diseases, lupus. You're depleted from all of these treatments and all these medications. You are depleted. Why? Because you're not getting the right water. You're not getting the right foods. You're not getting the right sunlight. You're not getting the right air. And so for your funky measly $50, that's what we're offering all of you on the planet under the sound of my voice to get you back into balance with nature. And all we need is your birthday. Then you want to go to the doctor after you see this? Go ahead and go. Go on and go, Cletus. We're going to still be all right. Live from South Africa. We'll be all right. All right. So Polaris has always been known to be the navigation star, the North Star. Polarity is about the poles. Polaris is called Polaris because it's closest to the North Pole. Polarity is about opposite poles of north and south, of negative and positive energy, which is in your battery in your car, making it run. It's also in batteries, period. You got a positive and a negative on your battery. Now, one of the particular instruments that I am familiar with when you're looking at batteries, right? You're looking at a battery, right? We got a positive and a negative charge. We got a positive and a negative. Now, you can call these right, the chakras and all that stuff you want to try to call it, or however you want to call it. You know, we just gonna say higher self, lower self, masculine energy, feminine energy, right? Now, there's an instrument that you can put on either one of these, right? And this instrumentation is called a ohm meter. And that ohm meter measures continuity. And continuity is a continuation of charge between the positive and the negative, meaning that there's no breakage. So Om is also the words that they meditate on. Okay? Ohms, follow me. Om, and keep tapping as I keep talking, you guys. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Okay, you keep tapping. I'll keep talking. If y'all don't keep tapping, I'll get up out of here and sayonara. I got this information. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2013. I healed myself. So I ain't got no death-defying disease. So we know this stuff works. It's all about will you work it. We know this stuff is effective. It's all about, are you listening? It ain't as hard as it sounds, but it is as free as it sounds. It is as cheap as it sounds. But it ain't as easy as it sounds. But it is as cheap as it sounds. So for your funky measly $50, we're giving you the top knowledge that you could ever get. It's the same way we're going to mama house. You get the best food that you ever ate for free when you go to mama house. Okay? So we got this continuity. What's up? So we got this continuity, right? So now this continuity here is by the ohm meter. So this ohm meter is already prepping me to meditation. Okay? Meditation. Right? Now watch this. Meditation comes from the ohm. The ohm meter is checking my continuity. I must have continuity between my positive and my negative, which means that this right here must be in connection. Well, what they do is this. Watch this now. What people do is this. What the world has done to you, and what you don't realize the world has done to you, and this is why I should already have 100K, to be honest with you. I should be the most famous motherfucker on social media at this particular point, to be honest with you. But I will endure my time. I'll wait my time. But I will always be teaching the same shit. This will never change. So meditation is Om, right? Om. That Om, that sound, that vibration, that frequency is the Om meter. Between this, check your continuity. Between who? Between your mind and your body. And see, every now and then, between everybody on the sound of my voice, you go through things in life that separates your mind from your body. How that happen? What are you talking about? That ain't never, my mind ain't never been away from my body. You a lie. How many of you have ever drove home and didn't even remember how you got there? You drove home, you didn't even remember how you got there because you was on muscle memory. And that muscle memory is an out-of-body experience that's happening to you over and over and over again. So when you get a terminal, because we got to use the right words for TikTok, diagnosis, or a lifetime your mind leaves your body. When you get trauma of any kind, your mind gonna leave your body. Now, who in the hell going through all this already? Okay, so when you get lifetime diagnosis, you get terminal diagnosis, your mind, body, where does the body go? In the past or the future, leaving the body in the present. When your mind jumps from future to past in a daily basis, a monthly basis, a hourly basis, when you're never in the present moment, my sisters and brothers, then you're not able to connect. You don't have any continuity. There's a breakage in your ability. And all of us have been socially engineered to be in these states. Depression. You either anxiety or worry, or you either depressed, or some of y'all are both. That's the reason for your high blood pressure, your diabetes, your cancer. That's the reason for your hormones issues, fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS. That's the reason for your liver. That's the reason for them drinking and got them been an alcoholic. It's the reason for you It's the reason for your fighting. It's the reason why they went to jail. It's the reason why, goddamn, they killed somebody. It's the reason why they died. It's the reason why everything. It's the reason why everything. You know what I'm saying? So when your mind is always in a constant battle, is always in a constant disappearing act from the present moment, then your body stays vulnerable or is a victim to the present moment. Here's the thing. When you raise this flesh off of habits, and guess what? There is nothing stopping the body without the mind. The mind is the stop sign for the body. And when the mind is not present, the body is vulnerable to its own habits. So now when the Bible talks to you about killing the flesh, and when the Bible is talking to you about getting over this carnal mind and killing the flesh, that's what this is talking about, this dynamic of understanding this dynamic. It ain't telling you to go die in no casket, though. And that's what I'm trying to teach you. It ain't telling you to go die in no casket. It's telling you to know thyself. These folks is pointing you into the right direction. They done told you to know thyself. You got the big one. You got the big pyramid leading down to the small pyramid, which is leading you to the little dipper. And at the little dipper, at the tip of the dipper, is the Polaris, which is the North Star. Is pointing you to true north. Now, when you know anything about cosmology, astronomy, astrology, then you know that real astrology starts by looking at everything from a true north perspective. That means that they're looking from on high. When the pyramids are pointing to true north, they're pointing to the most high. When the tropical astronomy, that's why we don't do these Vedic and all this type of stuff. Because we'll look at things from true north. And when you are looking true north, you guys, when you are looking at the most high, when you are looking at the kingdom, the throne means north, spelled backwards, is throne. And so when you're looking at the most high, then the east side going to be to the right, the righteousness, the right hand of God, the right side, all of this type of consciousness that you've been learning. This is how we understand. So now we understand that the owner's manual is going to act like a compass to you. So you get your foods, you get your herbs, you get your lifestyle, but that compass that I always have on all my lives, you get that in your owner's manual. It's a GPS. It tracks you. It lets you know what to be looking out for. It prepares you for opportunity, and preparation loves opportunity. And opportunity loves purpose. So you'll see that constantly we are in a war. We're either in the future of tomorrow or in the past of yesterday. And because we don't spend enough time in the present, you can't really inactivate a lot of your supernatural qualities. And what we're teaching in the owner's manual is how to pull that mind back in tune with this body in that oneness that we talked about and showed you a while ago. And then that's going to be able to give us the synergy and the connectivity and the conductivity and the continuity that's needed to bring energy to a body part that you wouldn't normally do. And this is how you hear yourself. This is what Dr. Savior them knew. This is what anybody who ever had a retreat understand. All this type of stuff. When you get retreat, I'm just teaching it scientifically and breaking it down. But all of these retreats and people going on retreats and what her name was, Dr. Ann Whitmore.